Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Uh-oh. The boy got a new mic. Let's go! Yo, this is Streetwise. I'm your host, Matthew McReynolds, and today's Streetwise tip of the day, Cashflow Quadrant. When it comes to making money, there are 4 categories that an individual can fall into. In Cashflow Quadrant, Robert Kiyosaki breaks those down for us very, very well. The first quadrant is an E, an employee. This is someone who is seeking a secure, safe job. They show up, they clock in, they collect their benefits, they collect their paycheck, they clock out. The next is an S, a self-employed individual. Most people who think they're entrepreneurs and business owners actually fall into the self-employed category. The money that they make is directly correlated to the work that they put out. Most of them have an hourly rate. If I'm a consultant, I might charge $200 an hour. If I'm an electrician, I might charge $100 an hour. If I'm a landscaper, I might charge $75 an hour for my service, depending on what the service is. That is being self-employed, because unless you have a team that can do the work for you, you work for yourself and you're your own boss. People who say, oh, I got into this because I want to work for myself. I don't want to work for anybody else. Most of those people are actually self-employed. Their income is still tied to the work that they put out. Next is the B quadrant. B is a business owner. This is somebody that runs a company. They're on top of the organizational chart. They have a staff. They report to the business. They work in the business. They work on the business. They're there. They might be in the day-to-day. They might not be, but they have a business. A lot of franchise owners go from being an employee in their business to being self-employed, doing it all themselves, to being an actual business owner. This is when you have the leadership team. This is when you can show up and you know that you have people in place to hold it down. This is a very, very, very nice place to be in, especially if you've been working years building up your company. But it's not the end. The final quadrant is the I quadrant. I stands for investor. This is somebody who has employed a COO, a president, a CEO, somebody to run their companies, and now they treat their companies like assets. Someone who comes from an E quadrant might say, I'm looking for a safe, secure job with good pay and excellent benefits. The S quadrant, or somebody who's self-employed, might say, hey, I got a rate of $75 per hour. Or, man, I can't seem to find people who want to work and do the job right. B quadrant, I'm looking for a new president to run my company. I'm looking for an operator to come in and handle the day-to-day. Whereas an I quadrant might say something like, is my cash flow based on an internal rate of return or a net rate of return? See, somebody like me, I'm not in that investor quadrant yet. I'm getting there, but I'm not quite there yet. I still got a ways to go. I'm at the point now where in my businesses, we have vertically integrated a lot, and I've got a lot of support and a lot of help in the day-to-day, but I'm still a solid business owner. I'm not self-employed or a solopreneur because I'm not usually the one out there going to do the work. I haven't gone out and done a treatment for mosquitoes all year. Where when I started, our company did 996 treatments our very first year, and I did every single one of them while answering the phone, while responding to emails, while going to networking events. Now that we're in year 8, I've got technicians, I've got CSRs to answer the phone. I have a general manager who helps build out my systems. I even have a field supervisor that can manage the techs and look at inventory and make sure all of our equipment is up and running. Now, for me, once we are able to build out the multiple companies and I have a bigger, stronger, better staffed leadership team, that is the point where I can take a step back and not really be a significant player within the businesses. I can treat these things as straight up assets. That's where I enter the investor category. Now, as an investor, it's my job to look for the next deal. And since I'm specifically looking for home service franchises. It doesn't have to be a franchise, but I like franchise models because they're easy to integrate. Once I get to the point where I'm out of the day-to-day of my business, I can look for deals. I can find the next brand. I can find financing partners, people that want to partner and see what I'm doing and see the value in it, and they want to come alongside. That's my role as an investor. I love this concept because you can make your money from all of the categories. I can have investments and have assets that pay me back without me having to work too diligently in the business. I can be running my business. I can be running a particular business at a time while have a more developed business that's literally just an asset and I'm just an investor in. I can go invest in somebody else's business that I'm not involved in at all while running my own. That would put me in the category of making money as a B and an I. Let's take it a step further. I'm getting involved in franchise consulting. I will be a franchise consultant by the end of 2023. The work and the rate and the money that comes in until I build out a team of brokers and consultants that work for my agency, until I do that, the money that I bring in is a direct correlation to what I put out, the connections that I make. Therefore, I will be an S when it comes to franchise consulting. So I've got my I, I've got businesses that are already developed that I've just invested in. I'm not in it anymore. I've got my B category, my B quadrant, businesses that I am heavily invested in, that I report, or my people report to me maybe 10, 20, 15 hours a week. I'm in the business, meeting with my team, talking to people. I'm not doing the work, but I have people reporting to me. That's my B. And then my S is me actually going out and building out my franchise consultant business. Now, last category, E. I could theoretically take all of that and still go work for somebody else. There's so many remote jobs that are out there these days where I might be able to put in 20, 30 hours at this remote job and collect my benefits. Guess what? As an entrepreneur and a business owner, I have not had benefits in 8 years. 8 years. That's a lot of sore throats. That's a lot of twisted ankles going up and down those ladders. That's a lot of pregnancies. My wife and I have had 4 pregnancies in the last 5 years. One of those being a stillbirth, where we've typically gone to the birthing center, Allen Birthing Center, shout out, where the cost is much less than trying to go to a hospital with no insurance. But guess what? You have a stillbirth, they're going to send you to that hospital. And if you don't have insurance, those bills, believe it or not, they stack up. So trust me, I know what it means to feel and be in the struggle. The struggle is real. Anybody that tells you this life is cake money, easy breezy, they capping. They are capping. And anybody that doesn't know what capping means, it's they're fibbing. They're telling a lie. They're not giving you the full truth. I love that we have the opportunity, especially in today's day and age, to make money in all 4 quadrants. I can work for somebody else. I can show up. I can clock in. I can clock out. I can build a side hustle on the side where I'm self-employed. I go out there in the evenings. I do my consulting work. I do what I need to get done to put money on the table, and it's directly me. Over time, I might be able to build up a business and have a staff that does a lot of this day-to-day stuff to take me out of said hustle. It's not a hustle anymore. As soon as I staff it out and build a team, now it's a business. People report to me. Now my time in that business has decreased because I'm on the business, not in the business. Once that happens, maybe, just maybe, I can start another side hustle and get back into the S quadrant and start making even more money, because as I build out a team that's investing in that team, therefore, there might be a little bit less money to go around. I have to invest in my people and pay them well. If I can take a little bit less money, but I free up a significant amount of my time, by George, I think we got something. I'll take that 7 days out of the week. Make my pie bigger, and I'll take a smaller piece 10 times out of 10. I don't need that full pie. Let me go create another side hustle that I can replicate what I just did. Get back in that S quadrant. And then once I'm able to stack all this stuff up, vertically integrate it, and make my organization look nice, and now I've got profit coming in, and man, I don't want to pay all that to Uncle Sam. How about I go reinvest that money? How about I go start other businesses, buy other assets, invest in other entrepreneurs or initiatives that are going on in my city and in my community? Now, folks, now you're in the I quadrant. It's not complicated. You can have fun with this. You can break it up, split it out. Don't be ashamed for the quadrant that you're currently in, but understand the value that it provides you. We should have multiple streams of income, multiple things coming in at once. The caution would be we need to be careful not to get caught up doing too many things that it dilutes our attention. Anytime our attention starts to get diluted, our quality drops. Matthew McConaughey in Green Lights, great book, highly recommend it. Talks about how at one point in his life, he turned around and realized that he had 4, 5, 6 different pillars that he was working on all at the same time, and he was producing C+, B- in all of them. These were things that he was passionate about, that he felt like he should be doing an extremely high quality job in, and yet here he was, C+, B-. He had to make the decision to cut out things that were not conducive to A+ results. And that's something that's going to be different for everybody. And you got to figure that out for yourself. What are your goals? What is your why? And what are you trying to achieve? If you want to make more money, all right, where's your money coming from? If you're an employee now and you don't know how to start a business, or you see people who are investing in real estate, who are investing in assets, that are spending money in the stock market, those are I quadrant things. I quadrant is the peak. That's the tip. That's the long-term game. You might not be ready for that. You might not be ready to build out a business, hire operators and general managers and office staff and admin. You might not be ready yet. There's no harm in starting small. Start with the side hustle. And then guess what? Get you a virtual assistant to help you with all that administrative extra stuff. Get you a bookkeeper. Yeah. Now you're starting to build it out. Now you're at a place where, okay, I can get some momentum here. I don't have to be stuck in the day-to-day of my hustle. Sure, I can still keep my job, but maybe instead of staying late, maybe I can leave a little bit early. We have to know our role as well as acknowledge the role that the tools in our lives play for us. A job is a tool. A career is a tool. Don't get it twisted and think that this is your entire life. Mess around and give your life to a job, and then hard times come and that job will let you go. Quiet quitting is not this big scary thing that you should feel bad about or feel ashamed of. I'm saying this as a business owner, as employees on my team, that I want to maximize their potential. But guess what, employers? If you're not giving your employees the opportunity to grow, they need to be seeking it elsewhere. Oh man, but what if we train them and they leave? What if you don't train them and they stay? Oh, that one hurt. That one gets you in the stomach, punch you in the gut. Yeah. If you're afraid to train your people because they might leave, you're a bad leader. How do I know that? Because I've felt that before. And I've also experienced what it was like when I didn't train people and they stayed. Leadership is all about bringing out the best in other people and understanding how we can bring out the best in ourselves. We cannot be closed-minded to the opportunities that are in front of us. Understanding the 4 quadrants, the Cashflow Quadrants based on the book Cashflow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, is pivotal to allowing us to step up, step out of our business, grow our leadership, and be better spouses, better leaders in our community, better business owners, better parents, better siblings, better friends. Once our perspective changes to one of abundance and we can drop away the thoughts and fears of scarcity, it begins to open us up to what is actually out there. This is a great book. Go get it. Check it out. Cashflow Quadrant, Robert Kiyosaki, one of my top picks for anybody trying to step up and grow and become the best leader that they can possibly be. And with that, that's all for now. Stay humble, stay hungry, stay streetwise. Peace. Ooh, that one hurt. That one get you in the stomach, punch you in the gut.